Hey guys, welcome to New Film, where we talk about movies, series, and everything in between. I'm Shoaib, your host, and I'm here with Paul. Yeah, so Superman Digital is now out, and there has been a lot of conversations and debates on Zack Snyder's Henry Cavill Superman and James Gunn's David Crossfit's Superman. Which one is better? Who did it better? And today, that's what we're going to discuss. So, yeah, I'm here with Paul, very passionate about today's discussion. So, I think we can dive in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
Where do I even start from? So I recently rewatched Man of Steel because it came out in 2013. That movie is old.
Very, very old.
And recently, Superman Digital is in, so everyone has watched it. And I was just trying to compare, and I think they are both very good movies, but I think one of them feels more like a Superman movie than the other.
Of course.
And I think James Gunn understand the character Superman and made a movie that felt like a Superman movie. I think when I was watching Man of Steel, it was giving me sort of Injustice Superman vibes. It wasn't really giving me a usual Superman we know. And I feel like right now, there have been so many variations of Injustice Superman, so many media in the games and stuff, but a lot of people have even forgotten how Superman really is. I think this James Gunn Superman has reminded some of us Charlie, this is actually what the character is supposed to be bright, colorful, full of hope and all that. So me, if I was to rate, I'll rate James Gunn Superman higher than Henry Cavill Superman. Nothing against Henry. I feel like casting is perfect. I love Henry Cavill as Superman, but I feel like the direction, I'll put James Gunn's above Henry Cavill Superman.
I know your heart is it's a very big misinformation. Very big misinformation. But I'll take it like that. Well, let's start this one, right?
Okay.
So what was Zack Snyder trying to introduce us to Superman, right? He gave us an adult version Superman who was now trying to, settle in the game, settle in his job. And then he met, that's, of course, that's their planet ship sort of, right? And then now started to realize who he was and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a better way to introduce such a character. That's a way to help us to understand where he's from, his origins, all of that. What Zack Snyder was trying to do was to help you understand who Superman is, and then introduce you to his villain-like sort of characters.
Okay.
So you had General Zod, coming from Kryptonite, trying to destroy. He has that mindset. And I think even for Kryptonites, that's like Krypton people, that's how they are supposed to go out there and be concrete. So this guy lands on Earth and tells us that, Charlie, this is what I want to do. And I mean, you can see from the time he met his father, the training, all of that, up until the final time, proper build up in the story. And compare that to James Gunn. I mean, James Gunn was just, I don't know. He was just giving us a Superman who is just trying to find his feet. Of course, he's young, so he's a little bit more vibrant, exuberant, all of that. But I still feel like it doesn't tell us anything about who Superman is.
Okay, I think I get where you're coming from, but I disagree.
Okay.
So first, with Zack Snyder's Superman, yes, he was supposed to give us the origin of Superman, let us understand, how he grew up and all that. But I think Zack Snyder missed the mark over there because, in my opinion, for the James Gunn Superman, we get less time with his parents, but it's more impactful. Why do I say so? In Zack Snyder's Superman, the first time Superman saved people, what did his father tell him? It was like, you shouldn't have saved them. And then Superman is asking his dad, so does it mean that I should let them die? And he said, maybe. So even though Zack Snyder took his time to characterize give the backstory, he did it all wrong. He made Superman's dad sort of someone that is like, no. The world is not ready for you. So even if it means letting everyone die until the world is ready, let them die. That's from the get-go is the beginning of the butchering of the Superman's character. So even though he had time to set up a character to build, he started off on the wrong foot. So for a Superman like that, growing up, he didn't really believe in saving people because his dad was like, oh, you have to wait for the right time, do what is right, even if it means sacrificing people, stuff like that. And that's from the get-go is a wrong characterization of the character. I think for James Gunn, what he did is he's building a new universe and he's starting with Superman. So he didn't have the time to build enough of a backstory. But I think even with that, he did that better than Zack Snyder. For Zack Snyder, he had a lot of time to build, but he chose to do it in flashbacks. You know, he had like the whole of the time to actually show us his childhood, but he did it in flashbacks. And like, it wasn't necessary. You had a lot of time to build, but you wasted the time. 2 hours, you just wasted.
I get you. But you see, imagine it's like, what's the name? Let's compare that to Invincible. Let's bring that picture.
Okay.
You know, his dad came to the earth with a soul mission.
I'm talking about his real dad, though. I'm not talking about Tony's dad.
Even with that, he's not a human being. You understand? He's teaching him how to become the character. Superheroes, yeah, regardless of the circumstances, right? People will die. You know, it's every time we watch superhero movies, you realize that buildings are coming down and all of those things. People will eventually die. You can't save everybody.
No, my point is Jonathan Kent. So you said that Zack Snyder, one of the reasons why I think it's a better movie is because he took his time to build a character, show us his childhood and all that. And I'm saying that even with that, he didn't do it well. One, he had enough time to actually take his time and build a child, but he chose to do it in flashbacks and some weird, and he was getting bullied sometimes. And then the character Jonathan Kent, who is supposed to teach him the Superman values that, oh, you have to always do what's right. I'm proud of you, no matter what, giving him that heart of gold. He told him that, why did you save these people? You should have let them die. Something like that. And from that point, that's when we come to understand that is this the character Superman is. Superman is someone who is raised in a way that, unless it's absolutely necessary, don't do anything. But Superman as a character is someone that, no matter what, he will sacrifice everything, no matter the cost, to save anyone and everything. We get it. So even with that whole thing that, Zack Snyder took his time to build a character, even that one, he didn't build it too.
Well, but even, let's talk about James Gunn's Superman.
Okay.
We never really saw anything about his childhood.
Yeah.
We never really saw anything about, all we have is a video that, we love you, come and do this, we don't have any baseline to even how he met his family and all of that. So, even with that, you see a Superman who just comes onto the scene.
Yes, we don't see the childhood, but in the small interaction he has between his parents, we see the difference between that person, that Jonathan Kent, the kind of message he gives him, and then the Jonathan Kent of the old one, and how he talks to him, the kind of message he gives him. You see, so even though we don't really get it, within the small time, James Gunn is able to understand and give that characterization.
Well, I still disagree. Because for James Gunn, all he did was he introduced the guy to the scene. Already started fighting villains. And already in the news because there's some politics and all of that. We have little to no knowledge of his lifestyle coming up.
But as we watch the movie, we get to understand how he is and who he is, even though we didn't see his childhood. We don't need to see his childhood to know the type of person he is. Even with Zack Snyder Superman, we got to see his childhood, but even as an adult, we didn't really see much of his personality because he was too stoic every day. He's not even, you don't even get dialogue from him. Well, if you ask someone what type of person he is, nobody will be able to describe because he never stayed at one place. He only said 3 lines and stuff. So even though we had a full movie of him, you can't even tell me that, what's his personality? No one knows his personality.
What's his personality?
What's his personality?
He's a serious superhero.
That's not a personality.
Who is ready to deliver at any time, anywhere.
That's not a personality.
That's his personality. He's that guy. The moment he lands...
then he's just stoic and serious. He doesn't... Even Lois, his love interest, very little chemistry. And the only reason why Lois... It seems like the only reason why Lois likes him is because she followed him to his cave and she got it and he saved her life. So we don't even feel like, she liked the person who Clark was. She was obsessed with Superman and then she found out Superman was Clark and she fell in love. That doesn't even give a chemistry. She only even discovered him because she was looking for Superman and she found him. She stumbled onto him and was like, you happen to be Clark. You seem like a nice guy. That chemistry, we don't get it. We don't get that. Personality, there's no personality.
But let's also compare the two and see, right?
Okay.
Superman in Zack Snyder's own was much more mature.
Mature, okay.
Like, he's a much grown guy. He's more, of course, if you're mature, there are certain things you are careful to do and all of that. We have a young, vibrant Superman in James Gunn. So I'm thinking that dynamics may well be the difference between the two of them.
Okay.
Because you see Zack Snyder Superman as a very serious guy.
Yeah, very serious.
You know, very ready to deliver.
Zero personality.
Oh, let's say he's much more mature. So, because if you look at...
You can be mature and still have a personality.
Oh, okay. So what kind of personality are you looking for?
Oh, no, anything. From the movie, we don't really see much. All we see is that we only see that he's a god, basically. We see that he's a god with a purpose. And that's it. Even his dialogue with Lois, are you okay? Oh, Lois, I'll save you. Oh, Lois. He doesn't even talk to her about anything other than, oh, you have to make sure you're safe. Then he's already talk to her, oh, no, you have to do this. This is how we defeat them. We don't even get actual conversations. They don't feel like real people. If you are with someone, at least there should be a conversation. We don't see any conversation. The only time Superman interacts with Lois is if he's saving her or if she needs to save him, or at the end when he snaps those neck and she came to embrace him. Yeah. That's all. That's the only interactions you see between them. When it's either he's saving her or she's comforting him, and that's it. We don't see anything else.
Oh, but look at the last scene of Zack Snyder's. You could see the emotion there. You could feel like he really wants to be that guy who can save the world. His mindset is, I want to save the world at all costs. Look at someone like General Zod. If you're facing a guy like that, you have to be serious. You can't be joking around. This young man did not face anybody that was life-threatening or could end the world. You know, world domination, those sort of things. If you're fighting people like that, you have to be very serious.
But okay, I get where you're coming from. Yeah. I feel like at the end of the movie, when I finished watching it, I didn't really get... All I got from that movie was, oh, we have a strong guy who is punching, destroying buildings, doing... Yeah. That's all we get from that movie. And that is not Superman. Well, for that movie, it was just an action movie. Even at the beginning of the movie, they based a lot on Krypton and stuff. It felt like a sci-fi, you know, like a sort of, I don't know how to say, like a sci-fi movie with aliens and other... It didn't feel like a Superman movie.
No, but put James Gunn Superman in the Zack Snyder movie. That guy will flop.
Why do you say he'll flop?
Now, even beating that robot thing, he had to take his dog to help him.
That's one thing people don't realize. In the movie, they stated that for the 3 years Superman, he has never lost a battle. The first time he lost a battle was against a clone of himself who was equal to him in strength and was being supported by a whole team who has studied his every move. So he was fighting himself, who can predict his every move. Puts Henry Cavill in such a situation. He's fighting a clone of his exact same abilities, who has studied his battles, everything, knows a move he's going to make before he makes it. You can't win such a battle. You can't win such a battle. And that's the thing a lot of people fail to understand. It feels like, oh, he's weak because this guy beat him. No. Well, there's no way he could have won that battle because you're going up against someone for the first time. But the person that is about to face you knows your every move.
Okay, what about that creature?
The creature.
That big...
Yeah.
He had to take more than 4 or 5 people.
He was trying to find a way not to kill it. If he wanted to kill it, he would have killed it in the first how many seconds?
Oh.
You get it? He's trying to reduce casualties. And that's one thing we don't get from Henry Cavill. And it feels like he doesn't value human life. And that is because of the training that his father gave him. And that's uncharacteristic of Superman. Any battle he has, he doesn't really care about... All he cares about is, I have a mission to do. I have to do it, no matter what the cost is. No casualties, collateral. He doesn't make an effort because even with James Gunn Superman, you're able to understand that, oh yeah, Superman is that guy that even when there's a lot at stake, he's still able to save like a squirrel or a dog. That is the essence of Superman. But for Zack Snyder Superman, Henry Cavill, even if we are recording like that and he's fighting, he doesn't care that we are here. You come and blow everything and then we are all dead. He doesn't care.
But I think I understand.
The end justifies the means. Yeah. He doesn't really.
I get where you're coming from. I think we are looking at 2 different Superman characters with different personalities.
Okay.
Right? Because, of course, Zack Snyder's Superman had more of like, he understood his assignment very early. And so because of that assignment, you know, my mind is, I'm going to be that Superman. I'm going to save the world, regardless of the people that are there.
Okay. All right.
And then you have another Superman who is also more in tune with the people that he's with.
Okay.
Because if you look at that, was it the mechanic guy who rescued him from death?
Yeah.
That these people like the guy.
Yeah.
Everybody appreciates him. So I think it's because of that. That is what makes the difference between the two.
Okay.
You have one who like understands more of the human people, and you have one who is, look, I'm not like them.
Yeah.
So my own is, I do what I want to do, regardless of the people there.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that's what makes the difference between the two of them.
Yeah. So going into a Superman movie, expectation is that I'm going to watch a Superman movie. But if you go and watch Man of Steel, it's not a Superman movie. I just get a strong guy's movie. Well, just a strong guy. It might as well be Hancock.
But you see more of Superman's abilities in Zack Snyder. You see
what ability is in Snyder's, in Man of Steel particularly, that is not
necessarily Superman. Not in it, but
we don't even see him using his breath in Man of Steel, but in Zack,
I mean, he doesn't. He uses the more important one.
Which one is more important? Oh, come on. Anyway, I think all that being said, one more thing that I will also give.
But let me ask a question. When you look at Justice League Superman, what do you see?
We're talking about Justice League Superman.
Pick the Superman you saw in Justice League.
Yeah.
No, or like even the animations you've seen of Superman.
Yes.
What picture of Superman do you see in those?
In the animations of Superman, you see someone who is very strong, but also you're able to see someone with a heart of gold. If you've watched any of the Superman animated series, that Superman is a Superman that, even though he's strong, he still has a heart of gold. He still thinks about people. He's willing to do anything to make sure he saves as many people as possible. He's not just thinking that, no matter what it takes, I have to do it. No, he's someone who is thinking, okay, now how can I do this, saving the most people? He's not willing to have like casualties the way we get from this Zack Snyder Superman. He, no matter what, let's get the job done. If people die, it's unfortunate.
So I feel like then doesn't that resonate into what Zack Snyder was trying to put out there?
You don't get the true essence of Superman. And so there's also one more thing, how I feel, and I feel like a lot of people feel about the difference between the Zack Snyder Superman and James Gunn Superman. I feel all in all, Zack Snyder's movie was a good movie, was an action movie, but James Gunn's movie was an interesting movie. It had a lot of, aside action, it had a lot of other elements that makes it an interesting movie. It had some comedy, it had some heart, but for James Gunn movie, it was just action movie. It was a full action movie. There was very little anything else.
But you see,
the tone was super dark. The tone was, I'm sure that movie, I was young when I watched it, and I rewatched it recently. I'm sure if I watch it in cinema, I won't see anything because the tone was super dark. And
but you see, the problem with what James Gunn has done too is that you have to keep repeating that sort of storyline every time you have a Superman movie.
You don't. That's why we have character building. If we have a Superman at the beginning, he's this way. As he goes, he can even become more serious. So he hasn't put himself in
becoming more serious will now lead you to Zack Snyder.
No, that's the thing you don't get. You can't be serious and have that's the mistake Zack Snyder made. Zero personality. Just being serious doesn't mean you don't have a personality. You can still have a heart of gold, you can have a personality, but you can still be serious. And what we get is, we just get a serious person and nothing else.
I have a feeling you can't merge the two.
You can't merge it too. No, you can't have a serious character.
A Superman character who is that serious and also have a very human heart. I tend to doubt that.
I think it's something that you can have.
It will get to a point where you have to choose one. Either you are going full on.
That is the whole point. If you watch the Superman animated series, the Superman animated show, that is the Superman I have. You have a Superman who is serious, but even though he's serious, he jokes around with the likes of Batman and stuff. But he's serious. When he has to lock in, he locks in. But aside that, he's serious. when it was Christmas time, he brought the Martian Manhunter home. He had a family moment. Like, even though he's serious, he still has heart. He has time to joke around with even more serious people. He has time to show that he's in tune with his emotions. But when he has to do what is necessary, he does it. And he makes sure that, like, he's thinking about, how can I do this best in order to save the most people? So that is a Superman that we already have. That's what we have. That is the character that Superman is. And they've done such a good job, and mostly the old animated shows.
Right.
But in live action, we are yet to see a Superman who has both that seriousness and also that, because I feel like James Gunn Superman is a young Superman, so he hasn't got to that point. But with the way he's set up, there is a very good chance that we can get that Superman that we know from the animated shows and the comics.
I still feel like he'll go back to that dark era because somebody like, you see, let me even bring you back to the General Zod pattern.
Yeah.
If it was not for the fact that this guy was going to kill those, what's his name? Superman would have snapped his head, right?
Yeah.
He had a choice, either to save them or to kill the guy, and then just went. Yeah. I feel like your man would definitely get to that point where you'd have to, I have to leave these people aside and deal with what is in front of me.
Oh, but that's one thing that a lot of people say, that, oh, Man of Steel, they don't like it because Superman had to kill. Superman doesn't have a no-kill rule.
Right.
It's Batman that has it. So even though he's someone who might kill if he has to, it doesn't mean, that's what I'm saying, the character of Superman, just him being serious or him being someone that killed, doesn't just mean that, oh, that's it. He doesn't have any other personality aside that. We can have a Superman that has like those emotions and is in tune with people and all that, but also is able to make decisions when the time comes. Just because Superman killed someone or kills someone doesn't mean that then he's now a serious guy and he can't do anything again. Because even this is just aside, a character like what was I going to mention? Now scrap that out. Yeah.
Okay, but let's look at James Gunn's case, right?
Yeah.
Superman had thought of somebody like the Justice Gang.
Yeah.
Who, if anything, you could also rely on them for help and all of that.
Yeah.
But you have one man.
Yes, one man.
One man in Zack Snyder's movie who is he doesn't know there's no justice, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So he has to carry the weight on his shoulders.
I get that.
So you carry the weight on my shoulder. I have a choice to make. I forget everybody.
Yeah.
And then I deliver
exceptional performance.
Oh yes. Exceptional performance on every level.
I feel like that's performance is not as exceptional as you think, because what we get is basically grooming, brooding. We are getting Batman. Come on. That's Superman, not Batman. Someone who's so brooding. We are literally getting Batman. We are watching a Superman movie, not a Batman movie. That's how
Batman's version of Superman.
That's how I'm going to end this movie, because that's why when you go into BVS, it's as if we are having Batman versus Batman. We literally getting a Batman-like person in a Superman role, which I think that's not Superman. But I think all that aside, me personally, I think that James Gunn's Superman was a more interesting movie. There was a lot happening aside just action. I feel like Zack Snyder's movie was just action. The tone was very dark and it felt like a different movie. It felt like a sci-fi movie. It didn't feel like a Superman movie. It was just action, and it's easy to get bored when you're watching only action from beginning to end.
There you are.
I feel like James Gunn's movie was interesting. There was a lot going on. It had a lot of things tying, and it wasn't just aura farming.
The aura is part of the reason why he's called Superman. And even James Gunn exhibited that aura as well.
Yes.
So it means that the aura is part of
the point is,
so from the beginning, we'll give you the aura.
You can have a nice aura, but it doesn't have to be the entire movie when you're saving someone and then you're like, bro.
Harry Cavill alone aura is himself. Harry Cavill's aura is himself.
We need
and Superman to his aura.
It's Batman that is always aura farming, and in there. We got a Batman Superman. We don't get a Superman. But yeah, I think they are both very good movies. Everyone has their preferences. I enjoyed both. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed both. But me personally, I feel like James Gunn feels like more Superman. Zack Snyder feels like a Batman Superman.
Well. Yeah. Personally, I think that James Gunn did a good job. I just feel like maybe there was more he could have done in terms of the character. Understanding who the character is a lot. But I also get it because, I mean, he's young, so we are not expecting much from him. We are not expecting to face some very big guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, but all the same, I mean, we love Zack Snyder. We felt who Superman is. One punch delivered, that's the job, you know. Yeah.
Well, I think that's been the discussion today. Yeah, you in the comments, you can also let us know what you think. Do you think we have a Batman, Superman, or a Superman? But yeah, that was it for this discussion. If you haven't watched the Superman movie yet, digital is out. I mean, we won't stop you from watching it. Yeah, this is New Film. I was here with Paul. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and see you the next time.